Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's the Man Child. Okay, so today up for review. Finally going to go over my Masters of the Universe Origins cartoon Teela figure. It's part of the Origins cartoon collection. I gotta say, out of all the cartoon figures that are out so far, she's really looks the best as far as her face sculpt. I want to say colors. You know, a lot of these figures from the Filmation, the colors are off a little bit. Trapjaw was pretty good. I reviewed him too. I thought he was a really good figure. Just go check that review out if you want to. I don't know if it's just Mattel's decision to do this with a lot of these figures, or it's a license issues. I have a feeling it has something to do with that. But anyway, yeah, really cool the way she came out. And if you're not familiar, here's a closer look at the card that these cartoon collection figures are coming on. So yeah, obviously they changed the logo up from the Master Universe that the Origins originally have to He-Man and Master Universe. Of course, you know, every figure's marks. We have Teela, Heroic, Warrior Goddess, and they have this little logo saying the 80s Ventures. I really like the Cosmos in the back. Well, just the different shades, the stars. You got like purple, yeah, gas going back, gases up in the universe going in there, and it looks like almost like energy's coming out behind Castle Grayskull, I want to say, like if He-Man would raise a sword. Kind of reminds me of. And of course, always cartoon figures. Now it comes with this cartoon collection sticker on the front of the card. And now here's a quick look at cartoon Teela's art on back of her card. So a lot of these figures are being marketed or they're coming with accessories that goes back to a particular Filmation episode. So this one's Pawns of the Game Master, where she's fighting these training robots. And I just went on YouTube and rewatched that. It was pretty cool. And then dropping down to the left-hand side, so as I already mentioned, she comes with that training robot, which that's a pretty cool accessory, but I wish it came with a stand or something. I don't think it does. I'll have to rig something in the review to make it look like it's floating. And then, of course, she could just twist into powerful battle positions. And she comes with, again, see her with her iconic sword. And here's a look with the cartoon collection cross-sell with all 4 figures as part of this Wave 2 series. And before we get into the review, so of course Teela comes with a new comic book called Time's End. It's the same exact comic book that Trapjaw comes with, and I'm assuming Stratos and Merman as well when they come out. And I already showed this in my Trapjaw review, so maybe you've seen it, maybe you didn't. It's going to kind of breeze through it, see all the images. It's a Eternium Rock. Trapjaw came with that accessory, which is pretty cool. Alright, so it's going to, once again, check out all the images. Pretty neat that they get into pre-Eternia here. They even show some of the older dinosaurs that were part of the vintage line when they were more mechanical later on. I mentioned in my Trapjaw video too, this larger Brontosaurus dinosaur was supposed to be one of the last dinosaurs in the vintage line. It was like this gargantuous thing like the size of Eternia. But yeah, they never came out with that. We've got Teela and Trapjaw going over here too. There's cool stuff going on. This looked like King Ghidorah from Godzilla. Also mentioned that in my Trapjaw review. Alright. And now, here's a quick look at cartoon Teela and a little accessories at a package. I mean, yeah, she looks beautiful. What's interesting, though, is she has the same exact body aesthetics as the regular Origins Teela. I mean, I guess that's okay. I expected some changes from what I remember seeing in early images, or just some rumors I heard, like with the ball peg and the head, stuff like that, which, of course, we'll get into it in a little bit, but yeah, I don't see anything different, so it is a different aesthetics with her. And now, bringing in Teela for a closer look. Look at that head sculpt for an Origins figure or a cartoon collection figure. I mean, just, yeah, awesome. Everything in the, just the detail in the eyes, the sculpt in the face, her hair. So she has this little hair, right, her piece, this piece here, but I don't know, is this, it looks like it's a separate piece, but actually cut into the hair, but yeah, really good job. So as far as the articulation with this head, so she can look all the way left to right, go down about that far and back. I spin her around, you can see just a little sculpting, excellent colors. I'm going to pop the head off for a second. So with the head off the body, just want to take a closer look at the ball peg. Yeah, it just looks like a typical female Origin style ball peg. Now, the reason why I brought that up is because I got like comments on Instagram when I took pictures of this. Can I try and Masterverse Teela head on this body and vice versa, or this on a Masterverse body? So I don't think it's going to work. But the other thing too is, so going back to the cartoon Skeletor, right? So if you're familiar or not, I reviewed him, and he came with these 2 masks that go back to the Masks of Power episode. So this mask was Demos and then Tyrella. Now in the show, Skeletor didn't wear these, Teela didn't wear them. The couple characters came in, they stole the masks. They went to the Temple of the Ancients. They took the masks and put them on. And they basically turned into Tyrell and Demos, right? Because they were dead. So you could put this on Skeletor, a male character from the Origins, or even a Masterverse character. But I was hoping, the whole point of this, that the Tyrella mask, female one, could fit now the newer cartoon style female Origins, these figures, like Teela, maybe if Evil Lynn or something comes out. And no, so you can't do anything with it. It's not going to work on the female characters because it's that larger Masterverse style, plug for a ball peg. It's interesting. Okay, so I put the head back on for now. We'll do a couple head change outs with the other Origins Teela figure later on because it's all we can really do at this point. So moving down, she has this typical like snake armor. It's a really rubbery material, so it's a separate piece to where the Origins one is just sculpted on. You can see all that. Decent color. Now, yeah, I heard this is removable, so it looks like to remove it, we got to remove the arms. But before we do that, so as far as the arms, right, check those out. Just again, just regular Origins female style arms as far as aesthetics. As far as our articulation, she go all the way out. Let's see, go forward, back. She has this bracer on both of her biceps that's sculpted on, again, painted in this metallic gold color. She could bend all the way at the elbow, has two white wrist bracers as well, and are they... Yeah, they're sculpted and painted on. Okay, yep, to the arms. They're both identical. And then she comes with two weapon gripping hands, and they can spin, and they're in hinge joints and go in and out. And the other side's all the same. So going back to this rubber armor, it looks like to remove it, we got to take the arms off. So let me see how hard it is to take the arm out of the socket. Okay, so the arm came right off. And let's do the same with the left side. Here's a closer look at the arms of the body. Yeah, again, it looks like regular Origins female pegs. And then it looks like this whole armor piece is going to slide right up, so it's easier. I'm going to remove the head again. And now once again with the head off, it's like this whole piece pulls right up over. And here's a closer look at that armor off the body. It's about it. It's got this little flexible piece. Yeah, really soft. It's like just all rubber. And that's pretty much what you get with the armor off. It's just, yeah, I heard rumors she was naked. I don't see her naked. I mean, so just painted, yeah, over her body. And now here's a look with Teela, of course, with the armor off, and I put both arms and her head back on. So you want to display her like that, you can, or put other parts on her, which I will in a little bit. All right, so let's leave the armor off for a second. So that's about it. So we already went over the arms, the head. So she can spin at the waist, and then let's see, compart at the waist. Again, it looks like, yep, it's a regular Origins peg. Putting the waist back on. So as far as her flexibility and articulation, she can go all the way out with a split, do some cool kicks. Kick forward, back. Not that far. Bend up at the knee, spin at the knee. And so, of course, spin at the boot. We know these boots come off. And then the foot can go up, down, and rock side to side. And these look like the same exact boots that the Origins Teela has, but just painted in a light brown color. Of course, the white up top. So, moving on to Cartoon Teela's accessories. So, of course, she comes with the training robot from that Filmation episode. Again, it's a cool piece. It doesn't articulate or nothing. Just mold it in just a flat gray color, maybe a little metallic. So this is supposed to be the blaster. This is, of course, the knife or sword end. Now, it would have been cool if this had some type of hole and you can elevate on a stand. I mean, you can make that. Now, let me try to elevate it on something. Okay, so I brought in one of my clear acrylic figure stands that I actually use for certain Origins, like Thunder Punch He-Man, because he's heavy. Has this piece on the waist I can close up top. But, yeah, it's kind of a quick rig, but that's what sort of holds him up, makes him look like he's floating. Even that, if you try to get these out of the way, he'll roll forward. So you got to keep these under the arms, but it's kind of a solution to make it look like it's floating. And then for her next accessory, she comes with her iconic Filmation style sword. Yeah, kind of cool sculpting for an Origins figure, and the tip is really like rubbery. Mine came like warped. I didn't think it would be that soft, but aside that, it's cool color and design. Then for her last accessory, it just comes with the Filmation inspired shield. Molded in a flat brown plastic color, and you can see the handle on the back. Alright, so let's Teela up with some weapons in hand. So I'll just put her shield in her left hand for now. I'll put the sword in the right hand. And now here's a quick look with Teela in a battle pose with her sword and shield in hand. And then, of course, I'm going to bring that training robot in on my stand. At least the one that sort of holds him. It's kind of, again, a quick rig. I want to make something later on to get him a little bit higher. And I might make my own stand for him. Maybe drill a hole or something down the road, but... And now, moving on to some comparisons and mixing and matching of parts. So, of course, we have our cartoon Teela up against two different variations of the Origins Teela figures. So this was the first release, a re-release Teela of the first release Teela in Wave 1. The only difference is she has corrected knees to where the original had them over flaps. So that's what that Teela is. And this is the Teela, came with the Teela Zoar 2-pack. Now, for the most part, these two are exactly the same. Aside the snake armor, the colors are different. Has more of a brown color. Same thing with the snake staff, where this Teela is, everything has more reddish in the snake, the snake armor, the staff, the shield. Her shield's off to the side. Of course, her braces are different. Hers is like a darker gold color, where hers is like a bright yellow. And they do have different head sculpts a little bit as far as the hair and head. And also, the biggest difference is the skin tones are really different. So this Teela is very dark. It's a little more tan in the skin, I want to say, under my light. Kind of going back to the vintage Teela. And her boots are also a darker brown color. Now, you can kind of see that the cartoon Teela boots, I want to say, are they the same boots? I think they are. Yeah, they are, for the most part, from what I see. But of course, she has dark brown boots. And this Teela's boots the colors are a little different, lighter, right? And the white on top. So we know she has white on top and light brown boots. Now, I'm not going to switch boots around. At this kind of a waste of time. Use your imagination what different boots look like on her. But as far as part swapping, so I'm going to take this Teela out of picture because she has the same armor, it's like different colors, and she's too tan. I'm going to focus on these two because, again, this Teela's skin is a lot lighter compared to this cartoon Teela, but even this cartoon Teela has even more white in it. Hers a little darker tone. So as far as like switching waist, which I'll do just to show that, prove that. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work. Anyway. Oh, and the other thing too is I use figure. These are Spawn figure stands. I use them on all the female, a lot of my Origins figures, but especially the female, because she'll keep falling over when I move around. Yeah, they don't stand well off the wall because they're so off balance. Beside that, let's see what parts we can switch around with these two. So the first thing I did was put the cartoon Teela head on the Origins first release, the Teela Zoar 2-pack Teela. Let's say first release Teela. On that body. Now, it looks really good. I mean, you can see that the skin under my lights, yeah, matched the body well. And, of course, I just put her, so I have all the armor off, right? Strip this snake armor off, put that on next. And just put her shield in the snake staff in hand, so you want to take a look at that. And, again, it works really well for that setup and the colors. All right, now here's a look at the same setup, but, of course, I put the snake armor on the body, as you can see. And, again, it looks, it works really good with that head, and the head's on that body. And I also threw her Filmation sword in hand. And this hand on my particular first release Teela figure doesn't hold well. And the Origins, a lot of them, both male and female figures, always had terrible hands. It just depends on the pose of the fingers. It's kind of like they're too soft and they should be sculpted longer, curved in more. So I just took the weapons out of her hand for now. They fall. They're annoying. But let's just make sure the waists are the same. So I'm going to pop this waist apart in this Teela. Of course, this one, just switch this one over. And now here's a quick look at that. So, of course, we have the Filmation Teela head on the Zoar Teela body, snake armor on, and I just switched out the legs from the the cartoon Teela. So we just have this in white. Of course, it articulates. And she has the other color boots on. But the skin, yeah, they're close, but this one is like has like a glossier tone to it, kind of a pinkish color into it a little bit, where this one has more of a white color. Alright, so I put the first release Teela lower legs on her body, as you can see, and I just wanted to remove the cartoon Teela arm and just show you that the peg is the same. I'm just going to put one arm in for now. All we're really getting is just this gold bicep bracer and this other white one, which, matches this pretty good if you wanted to, but snap it in this side, see what that looks like. So, yep, same exact peg, articulates all the same, and the skin tone, again, doesn't look that bad. It could match. It could really work with this figure. So jumping ahead, the last thing I wanted to try on this Zoar 2-pack Teela body is, of course, the cartoon rubber armor. Now, you can see it is fitting. I just took one arm off the head, obviously, but I'm having a hard time with it. It can work, but you got to be careful, see, because I'm stretching it down, and I don't want to tear this because technically this painted sculpting is this Teela's armor. If you want to put this over on this body, you can. It does work. Can bring it down, but you got to be very careful. I don't want to mess around with it, but if you wanted to use that on this body, you could. So I'm just going to be really careful and adjust it. And kind of looks something like that, but it is bulky because, again, she already has some sculpting in this armor to where, this body's just sort of a naked body painted over. You don't have that. Alright, so getting back to cartoon Teela, so obviously I set her body all back up, put this rubber armor on. We already went over the first release, or Zoar 2-pack Teela, all combinations I could think of. We know the arms change out the waist. You want to remove the boots, you can. You're not, the only thing you're gaining is a different color. Not going to bother with that for now. And the head looks great on it, and I didn't go over the articulation with this head. Okay, spin left to right, go down about that far and back. So yeah, it works out well on this body. So let's see what we can do with the cartoon body now with the first release Teela parts. Alright, so here's a look with the Zoar 2-pack Teela head, or first release Teela on the cartoon body. Again, you know, the head can work out okay, just with the, between the skin tone on the face and the body under certain lighting conditions. Now, the head on this, okay, there it goes. It's kind of weird. Doesn't, see that? It's not like sitting all the way down for some reason. I don't know, it's just my figure. Huh. It's something I got to mess around with. But aside that, so as far as the articulation, she can spin left to right and go down about that far and up. But yeah, this head is definitely sitting off the ball peg. Okay, so I did mess around with the head a little more, and I got to go down on the body better. Of course, I put the snake armor on, and I just threw her vintage shield and snake staff in hand. So now we have the Zoar 2-pack Teela head on a cartoon body with her accessories. Now, I did leave this rubber armor on because it looks better, and going back to this one, it's kind of with the snake, you know, this armor is supposed to go over. And again, it works out good on this particular figure. So once again, here's another close-up, both Teela figures, right? Cartoon and the Origins first release, or Zoar 2-pack Teela. Obviously, I removed the heads, and I want to make a point of something. So we know that the pegs and the waists work out. You know, they're all the same. The arms, I can see that the boots are. I didn't take them off, but yeah, just by moving them, they're hard. This one's having a hard time coming off. They're the same pegs. But I noticed there is a difference in the necks. So something because of the armor sculpted onto this Zoar 2-pack Teela. It's a different neck design, where this one's a little more open. And that's part of the issue with the heads from the two different Teela figures that I have. So if you can see that, there's a difference in the necks. And this one looks little, I want to say, possibly hunched. And you got to watch that too, because the gap on this cartoon Teela, I noticed this with a lot of Masterverse figures too, and newer Origins. You know, they have this gap, and by pulling heads on and off, these split easy. I had a Masterverse one break here. So I don't like that with this particular gap and how long the neck is. But I just want to point that out with these two figures. And the last thing I want to do as far as the female comparisons is bring in the Masterverse 2.0 Teela against our cartoon Teela. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, someone on Instagram asked me, would this head fit on this, I think it was, would this head fit on this body or vice versa? I think it was this head on this body. You could see there's no way it's going to fit because she has a typical Origin style peg, which obviously I already showed when I thought it would be a male peg. For some reason, going back to the Masks of Power and fit the female one on this body. It's what I was thinking, but I guess not. Sorry, that's those two together. I mean, yeah, this Teela too, really beautiful figure. And then the other question too was this, kind of off topic a little bit, would the Origin Snake Armor Teela armor fit on this Masterverse figure? I never tried it, but why have her out? Let's try it. So yeah, it kind of does fit the Masterverse Teela. It is a little tight, and I had to stretch the strap in the back to catch it, you know, and you got to mess around with the head. But for the most part, it can work if you want to do that. And then going back to that other question, will the cartoon Teela head fit on the Masterverse Teela body? So of course I took the armor and head off. You can see the ball peg, but yeah, without drawing this out, modifying it, no, that head wouldn't work, and it would look silly. It's a beautiful sculpt, but it's too small. Definitely designed for the Origins. It looked something like that. It looked like shrunken heads or something. And now going back to the cartoon Teela body with no head. Here's our Masterverse 2.0 Teela head. So yeah, it's obviously, you can put tape or putty in there. It'd be easier to fix this than the other one. But it still looks just a little too big for this body. The color's way off, and yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, you want to mess around with it, put it on. It's kind of what it looked like. And now, moving on, one last comparison. So, of course, once again, here's our new Origins cartoon-inspired Teela against our Origins-inspired cartoon He-Man and Skeletor. So you can kind of get an idea what all three of those look like together. So, yeah, with the Origins cartoon males, they really have a whole makeover as far as the muscle tone aesthetics. And they're even a little bit taller than the regular Origins figures when you bend their legs out. Where Teela, once again, has the same exact aesthetics and design as the regular Origins Teela, aside the head and accessories and stuff like that. Alright, so that was my overall review on a new Masters Universe Origins cartoon Teela figure. Yeah, I think she came out really cool, you know, just beautiful head sculpt, face, hair, It's a little rubber armor piece that, yeah, you got to remove one of the arms and head to take it off, but it does its thing. You know, going back to the filmation, I like the filmation that Spire's sword's pretty cool, and the shield's a shield. You know, it's I actually like this one better, has more detailed. This little fighting robot's pretty neat, but something just lays on the ground. I don't know what good it is. You know, it should have had a little hole with a clear acrylic plastic for a flight stand, or come with some type of stand. Not that you can't put it up on something or make something like I showed. Aside that, it's all it really does. There's not really much you can do as far as changing parts aside with this Zoar 2-pack Teela. Because the skin it is close to matching, but hers does have more pink and a gloss into it, where, yeah, this Teela is very white. But the armor does look cool on her. You can switch the heads out, and again, this head is a little wonky on this body, and once later on in review when I showed it, it's the neck designs because of her armor, and this neck is taller. You also got to watch this split piece in this neck when you pop these heads off, because again, as I already mentioned, I've seen this in Masterverse where these break easy, and now the same design is being applied to this Origins Teela, so just be careful. It might be my figure. They stand okay, but they do wobble around, so I use these figure stands. That's because I'm rotating stuff too, to be fair. Her hands do work a little better on this particular figure, where this one, she's always losing stuff. She also has this yellow 2000X sword. It's funny, it will fit in this hand, but this hand will fall out, and you can see the snake staff. I put it back in this hand, it just keeps falling out, so I just wired it on her, like she's hanging and put the shield in, that particular hand. Aside that, you're not really getting, I for some reason I thought the aesthetic's going to be a little larger on her or something. She'd have the male ball peg. I don't know why I thought that, I just did. But nope, everything's the same as Origins. Side, you're getting a different head and more of a filmation look. That's it, but it is what it is, and I like how she came out. So hopefully it answers everybody's questions. I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, take care.